Hello, this is Samsai again, and welcome to Quake 2. So yeah, I decided to start a new Let's Play, and I figured I would play Quake 2 because of two reasons. First of all, I haven't actually played through Quake 2. I have played a little bit of it. I relatively recently played through Quake 1, along with all the expansions for it. But I haven't played through Quake 2. And the second reason for this game in particular is that this is actually a game from a very interesting era of FPS games, because this is basically a game between the sort of story-driven stuff and the very much action-packed and very low-on-story stuff. Like before Quake 2 and games like Unreal, FPS games were more or less just go through various kinds of levels, kill all the enemies, or at least most of them, and then eventually reach the big baddie in the end and kill that guy, and that's game over. But Quake 2 actually does sort of a different thing. It has actually, it has more story elements to it, and it's basically from the era when they started to sort of add more story into FPS games, and now we get more complex stories in games and stuff like that. But yeah, basically I'm just talking and I'm not playing, so I'm doing this very badly. So, but anyway, the point is I wanted to play this game, and I think that this game is actually from an era that is interesting, and everyone should remember these kinds of games when you look at modern games which have complex stories and stuff. Anyway, because I haven't played through this game ever, and I don't really know how difficult it gets towards the end, I'm going to play on medium because I feel like that's what I can do.
The head of SETI will give a full press conference today in the wake of the verified and authentic non-terrestrial transmission coming from just beyond the asteroid belt in our solar system.
Contact with the colony of Mars will be re-established and have nothing to do with the impending arrival of the mysterious aliens.
The McCulloch space station has just been destroyed.
Casual sex from the
In our minds,
Paris, Peking, Reykjavik, and Tokyo head the list of recent devastated cities. After the recall from what was once ambitious
Reflecting farewell speech as these brave soldiers took the fight to the Strogs' home planet. We, the rest of humanity, wish them luck and Godspeed as well.
Mother Goose is right now for Charlie 417.
Gotcha on the scope, Red Leader. See that big bad dust bomb ahead?
Target is acquired. Heading towards nav point, X-ray Lima 7.
So,
Communications. Priority up.
so we have now actually entered the game itself, and you might have heard a little bit what we are supposed to be doing here, a little bit of the backstory, but I'll brief you anyway, just in case, and also there is a guy that I need to kill quickly. I don't want that guy running around here. So, basically, an alien race has attacked Earth. The alien race called Strog, and we are currently on the Strog homeworld trying to strike back. This is technically not a sequel to Quake 1. Quake 1 was a completely separate thing, and they simply decided to name this game Quake 2, despite basically having no connections to Quake 1. And well, basically, if you have played Enemy Territory Quake Wars, you know a little bit about the war on Earth. So basically, the Strog and the humans fought over Earth for quite a while, but and eventually humanity won and managed to push back the Strog, and now we're assaulting the Strog homeworld. And yeah, as you can see, things didn't quite go as well as we would have hoped. We're playing as Betterman, soldier in the... I don't remember what the name of the army is. I have looked into some of the backstory for this game, of course, because I tend to research games I play. I'm actually going here for a weapon. I know these first few levels quite well, but yeah, also we should probably check our objectives. So this is basically what differentiates this game from things like Quake and Doom. So we actually have objectives here, and our objective is to establish communications, because everything is basically horribly wrong. This is basically the closest analogy to this situation is pretty much the paratrooper landings of Normandy in the Second World War, where basically everyone was scattered around and nothing was quite the way it was supposed to be. So the army is basically scattered all over the place, and we're currently alone in the Strog territory. So yeah, this is what I was coming here for, the shotgun. We do need some of this a little bit better weaponry, and also here is another secret. I cannot promise you that I will find all the secrets. I most definitely haven't found all the secrets even in these first few areas, but especially later on I probably won't be finding too many secrets unless I do it by accident. Also, a funny thing to, well, first of all, some of these areas might look a little bit different if you have played Quake 2. It's because I should have a texture pack installed, which should improve but not really change the textures too much. Also, another thing to note about the engine. Previously I was playing this game with unlocked frame rates. It caps itself to 90 by default, but I unlocked it because I wanted to see how well it runs on my modern hardware, and as you can expect, it does run quite well because it's a very simple game. But an interesting thing about the engine is that the engine didn't like that at all. Also, I'm going here for some secrets. That's a silencer, so we can silence our weapons if we want to. We have, if we look at our inventory here, we have various kinds of things like grenades and the silencer, and we're going to find more items. It's kind of like a sort of an inventory system, so it does have some more complex mechanics than more simpler games, which is interesting. But yeah, the engine really doesn't like being run at 500 FPS. At least this engine. I'm using Yamagi Quake, which is one of the source ports for the Quake engine. And but the reason why I talked about it is because you cannot physically get into these areas properly, because I think the collision detection of this engine completely fails at 500 FPS. So I have actually V-synced the game, so it runs at 60 FPS, so now it should be pretty much perfect. But if you have, if you play this game or want to play this game and encounter weird collision and stuff, just make sure the FPS is capped or V-synced, because the uncapped frame rate can really destroy the game for some reason. The game doesn't really run faster if you unlock the frame rate, it's just that some of the things like movement and collision detection seem to fail really hard. So here's another little secret. So yeah, these are basically the Strog, by the way. I haven't really talked about the enemies too much, I have been just running forward. But yeah, these guys are slightly nastier Strog. But they are fairly generic enemies. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, getting this shotgun in particular is quite awesome. Also, we can make these guys into small giblets if we want to. So, another thing to note about the game is that technically this game allows you to travel between levels freely, provided you unlock certain doors and stuff. We're currently in the area known as Outer Base, and we can actually return to this place. This is basically how we go from one level to another, and the game actually requires you to go between certain areas. It's interesting because it doesn't really follow the linear nature of many games from more or less this era. So we need to... the secondary objective is basically the more accurate description of what we need to do right now. So we need to get to the Comm Center. So let's go through some Strog. Take that. Also, these deaths are a little bit more like graphic than... no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this gun. Stupid Strog. Get out of my way. It's particularly annoying because these guys are actually not too tough, but they are in a slightly elevated position where I can actually take some hits from them. Yeah, let's make our way... oh, hello there. Oh, nice, we actually got two with a single shot. Yeah, these guys are actually, they die pretty graphically when compared to various other games. I have actually read some reviews from the times when this game was released, and they said that this game was one of the more brutal games. Of course, it doesn't really stand to any comparison with new games. Also, we got a new weapon. We have the SMG now. Well, I think it's supposed to be an SMG. I'm not entirely... actually, we can check it here. Yeah, it says that it's a machine gun, but it's pretty much an SMG, considering the size of the weapon. Also, this is an interesting little detail. We have, like, flies all over the enemies when they die. We can actually see... here's a map. The game actually doesn't have a map built in, and it's actually going to cause some problems later on, but apparently there's a map here. I'm not sure if this would be as readable with the older textures, because these new ones, they are not quite as ultimate HD as some other texture packs for other games. Like, well, Quake, for example, has some like Ultra HD graphics packs, but it definitely makes things a lot more bearable. But I haven't like enhanced any other part of the game. The game engine doesn't make any changes to the gameplay itself. Just die. Stop being alive. Your death is worth more for me than you staying alive. Yeah, just die. They also really like to shoot when they die. They don't really aim, they just kind of shoot generally in the direction they were facing when they died. But I have actually managed to get myself, not killed really, but I have taken damage from these guys when they sort of fall and try to shoot at whatever has been, well, whatever killed them basically, because they died pretty quickly after falling down like that. Yeah, particularly those guys are nasty because they just shoot all over the place. So I think that's the Comm Center there. But We cannot actually get in there quite yet. We can jump over that gap. This is not really the problem, and I'm actually going to go here because I need to empty this place of enemies. Well, I don't really need to, but I want to. There's so many of you guys. Also, those messages on the radio, they kind of tell a little bit about the current situation. Yeah, I think this is pretty much the Comm Center here. We cannot get there. Even if I try to jump, I cannot actually do it. I could probably try to throw a grenade. I actually do have some grenades. And I'm fairly sure if I did it right, I would be able to jump over that gap and, you know, utilize some speedrunning tactics to actually... Oh hey, I actually remember this secret. Not a particularly great secret, but a shotgun basically gives us more shotgun ammo. I'm happy about that. But yeah, I'm not going to skip any sections of the game unless I do it accidentally. But I'm definitely not trying to do that purposefully. But I think this is where I need to go. So we need to go through the sewers and gain access to the comm centers through there. And we will actually go back to that area above when we get through the sewers. Okay, good to know. So yeah, now we just need to locate the comm center. The computer will keep updating itself like constantly, and we will get like objective updates and stuff. And it's actually very useful because sometimes the game is a little bit like it's a little bit like vague what you need to do. The game doesn't have a whole lot of like dialogue or non-player characters that talk, so it can sometimes be a little bit tough to actually understand what you're supposed to be doing. So this guy is way too far away for me to kill with the shotgun. Just fall. This is another item, the rebreather. So we can use that to dive through water if we want to. And we might consider doing that actually. There is a secret area through here, but we don't need the rebreather quite yet. I'm pretty sure we can just dive through here. There isn't much there. The main attraction is over on this side. So we have found a secret area, and if we take the elevator down, this is one of the bigger secrets that I have actually like found in Quake 2. We have found a secret level. So basically all of these older ID titles have secret levels, and this is one of those. So we have a secondary objective here to find a powerful weapon, and we can also find armor and of course ammo, and you know, if we hadn't found the shotgun, we would get one now. But I already have a shotgun, and you probably should have it too, like at this point. But yeah. Okay, I saw you, so don't you even try to hide. Take that.